Hello everybody, it's me, Tonic TZW, and we've gone and pulled a Kraken again. I was trying out a different build using a Gunzo Chihaya and going for a full torpedo reload boost and giving up perceptive to track the enemy destroyers and going to rely on stealth to be out there. Now, as you can see, we've got a tier 3-4 game here, lots of battleships, lots of potential damage, and we're going to make the most of that. But sadly, the rest of the team are not going to be able to follow up and provide any reasonable, in fact, even a minimum standard of support. Now, you could say, T, that's your own fault, mate. You've gone down to tier 4, and there's nothing but spuds bobbing round in the water down there. But if I'm trying out a new commander build, I'll normally put it on a low tier boat and go out and play a few games in it just to see what it's doing. Now, start of the match, I decide that I know that I'm likely to get a destroyer that is going to try and come up the flank, and given that I've got the probably the best concealment that I can probably knock another 100 meters off it, but I'm running at 4.6 concealment, and I'm going to make the most of that for the majority of this game, but I will fall foul of my own stealthiness a little bit later. So we are pushing down. We can see that there's two battleships pushing up, and we all know that everybody likes to try and hug that end of the island and get some cover between it. Now, for whatever reason, our other destroyer has abandoned centre and he is pushing across to this side of the map too. But I'm thinking, well, two DDs, at least he'll have some guns on him, and we may be able to spot and take care of an enemy destroyer. But my hopes are, well, hollow. Definitely hollow. We get the Farragut spotted. There are 5 ships on this side of the map that potentially have guns on him, and yet not a single one of them is firing in his direction. I have him well outspotted. He's pushing towards our other destroyer, who has yet to fire a shot, but there we go, he finally gets his guns around. Whether or not he's using twister track or perceptive, I don't know, but he should have known that there was a ship there coming round the corner. Even at tier 4 you can get a commander level that high and use that perk. But I'm going to continue pushing down because I realised a little bit later as I was sailing down here that we've got a carrier match. So being wider on the flank is actually going to be beneficial, because hopefully the carrier will focus his planes on the centre and that big group of ships at the top of the map and not come anywhere near me. Now, I've waited for this Koenig to push round the corner because what I want to do is try and trap him so he doesn't really have any option to turn out of those torpedoes, having that island right beside him. And that's a trick I often use when playing destroyers. You limit the movement of the ship using the terrain that's in their vicinity. So he can't turn left. If he's going to turn anywhere, he's got to turn right. He can't turn right. So if he's got to turn anywhere, he's got to turn left, and in doing that he'd give up a full broadside to all those ships sitting out there. Now that destroyer is still spotted, and yet all of those ships between them cannot take care of him. I don't know what that other destroyer is doing, but it looks like he's crashed nose first into the island, and he's going to stay there for some time. Now he's either in a smokescreen or he's stuck. So I'm going to keep progressing down the way and doing my thing and hoping that they can take care of it. But we've already lost a battleship and a cruiser from the one from the other side of the map. The Peter Velicki was on this side of the map, and I think he just sailed broadside straight across the centre. And we all know what happens to Russian battleships when you sail broadside to anything. You end up looking like a colander with a few extra portholes along the side of your ship. Now that Farragut is still there, and I'm saying, come on guys, pick him up. The carrier is doing a great job of spotting, and you may have noticed from the minimap, but Red Team have not had a single plane up, and that's because this Langley is AFK. So even though they don't have the support of an aircraft carrier, and our carrier is doing a pretty damn good job of it and actually torpedoes that Farragut to take the second kill for the team, the rest of the team are just in a complete circle jerk, for want of a better term. And our other destroyer gets dev struck with a flesh wound by the Farragut, so I'm guessing he must have been stuck against the edge of that island. So it pays to be aware of your surroundings, and I'll heed that advice myself a little bit later on. But we all know that AFK doesn't stand for away from keyboard, it stands for a free kill, and we are going to do exactly that with the Langley while we turn and head towards this Texas. Now, with running a full torpedo reload setup on this commander, I think my torpedo reload is down to something like 34 seconds. Which is next to nothing, and although I've only got 7k's range, we're going to make the most out of these quick reloads. We're already on 2 kills and 84,000 damage, and there's pretty much 2/3 of the red team left, and I've got a juicy battleship sat there, which the rest of them still seem absolutely unable to take care of. So we got torps running, and unfortunately I don't know whether our carrier was just a little bit late in realizing how quickly that Texas was pushing, but although he is moving now, he is spotted, he is in range of a lot of guns, and Red Team are going to take care of him. But we also have the other destroyer spotted. Now, I'm too far away to do anything about that, but he is firing his guns, he is detected full stop, and yet none of the team are actually going to do anything about him. Now, I forget about that Texas for a moment. He's turning the corner. I'm thinking the rest of the team will surely pick him up. I don't need to worry about him. I can turn and push for the cap while getting some torpedoes out at the Wyoming. But I do notice that I'm located, and I'm thinking, well, it's not the destroyer because there are ships closer to him than me. And as I push towards the cap, lo and behold, there is the Kotovsky. Now, it would be nice to have him off the map. And I'm going to call for fire on him, because that Russian cruiser is like a tin can. The rest of the team are unable to do anything about that Wyoming pushing the centre, but he does take a whole load of torps and goes out for dev strike number 2 of the game, and I'm already pretty much tickling 135,000 damage. But I want some open water now, because I don't want to be in the way of this Kotovsky. That Texas has 0 health left on him, and the other Texas picks him up. That could have potentially been kill number 4 if a flood had stuck to him. But I'm pushing back because I want to try and get this destroyer spotted and hopefully have one of these guys do something about it. But they are now just sailing round with their hair on fire. I'm calling for fire on the Kotovsky. I'm spamming my torps out there, knowing that I've got a very fast reload and I can count on them to be ready when I need them. And just trying to maintain some distance between myself and that cruiser, because I know if he spots me, I am screwed. So pushing back towards our cap, thinking we're going to have to defend it. It's 4 plays 3. Red team do have the lead. I've missed another set of torpedoes on the Kotovsky, so I decide that we'll try and pick up some more on him. I'm still asking for fire on him. At least one of those battleships should be able to put some fire on him. But there's nothing goes out there. So I get one more set of torpedoes off at him while I try to push towards the Oklahoma. Looking at the mini-map, I can see that both of these ships are very, very close to my detection range. It's next to nothing. You know, Kotovsky takes one torp, a flood, it doesn't stick. He's the one that's got me located. He's obviously using the commander with the trait that shows the direction of the nearest enemy ship. I hit the brakes so I don't run detection on the Oklahoma, but seeing that the Kotovsky is pushing in behind me still, I have no option but to try and keep a safe distance between them, which I fail to do. So I pop my smoke, the Oklahoma secondary start on me, the Kotovsky, who have been asking for fire on forever, starts chunking me for health. We take out the battleship with a full salvo for a dev strike. We lose another battleship, and this final battleship, all I can imagine is they understand nothing whatsoever about this game. So I'm running away from my smoke, knowing that the Kotovsky is going to run me down. I put some torpedoes through the smoke, hoping to catch him unawares. And as fast as my little propeller will carry me, I'm trying to run in a straight line as fast as I can possibly go, and just hoping and praying that this battleship will do something to help, because this team have literally not had a brain cell between them. And at this point, I'm like, we can't win this game. There's no way in hell. So I'm sorry, Mr. Kotovsky, but I am going to do a bit of YOLO. We get the torps off at him. They are running into him. He's trying to keep his guns trained on me. And as he gets this salvo off, torpedo hits him. I get the 5th kill for the Kraken. 194,943 damage. And our battleship is left there on the other side of the map with a full health destroyer. So even though there were, I think, 5-6 ships back there, literally they could not take care of, I think, one ship between them. Or perhaps they did take care of one ship between them. But the priority targets that the carrier had spotted, which were the destroyers, they just couldn't do anything about it. And this was just disappointment to have had such an awesome game up until that point. And if I'd have had a tiny little bit of support there, somebody else could have had that Kotovsky. I could have had that destroyer spotted for them. And there was still, what, 30,000-40,000 damage out there with that other battleship and the destroyer. And I did check the damage record for the Kamikaze, and let's say I was probably about 35,000 damage from that. So it was the potential to be a damage record. But when there's no hope, you do what you can, death or glory. In this case, death and glory. Now, as I said, looking at this battleship, I have no idea what it was thinking, because anybody in the right mind would have probably run down that smoke and taken a chance on being skinny and having the turrets ready. But he's firing single turrets, and it appears that they have no idea on how shooting works in this game. because they appear to be aiming at exactly the spot that the destroyer is in rather than where he's going to be. And that destroyer knows that he's got a free target on that. And here we go. 2 torps. New York dies. And that is the end of the game. But Kraken, 3 devastating strikes, a high caliber, as I said, a whisker under 195,000 damage. I think it goes without saying that you'll realise that I did end up with MVP for our team, with almost triple the base XP of second place, which was that other destroyer, which died ages ago. So, please enjoy my misery. It's a Kraken in defeat. I hope you have enjoyed watching this video. Please remember to hit the like button, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do subscribe to the channel and check out some of the other videos. Until next time, I've been Tonic, or just call me T. This has been World of Warships Legends. Take care and goodbye.